Velkommen og god dag alle sammen. Today we are going to be looking at some Old Norse staves and magic spells to use in relationships, with a woman, both romantic and non-romantic. So we'll get straight into it. These are coming from the Galdrabok. As you know, this is one of the most important books of magic we have from Norse culture, and it's the one we'll be using. There's a lot of different translations, and I've read them all, but the one I'm reading from today, and the one I like best, is the one by Stephen Flowers. There is a photo over here. I definitely recommend this to anyone who wants to learn a little bit more. So we're going to go over these staves and the instructions on how to do them, but if you haven't watched my video about how to draw magical staves, do that, please. So if you do believe in these things and you would like to try some of it out, it's important that you do so according to the traditions and proper methods to make sure it's done right. So I'll put a link in that a link to that video in the description below. You know me, I believe in some magic that we go over on this channel, and some of it I don't believe in, but I'm more interested in what our ancestors believed, how they lived life. So that's why I look at magic things like this, so we can determine a little bit more about them. So without any further ado, we'll go over the first spell, and this one is to win a girl's love. This is number 8, spell number 8 in the Galdrabok. Reading here. Likewise, while fasting, make the ladder the helm of awe. So this comes right after another spell, by the way, where it instructed you to do a couple signs, helm of awe, and the one that you're looking at right here in this video is the one on the right. So you make the ladder here with your spittle in your palm when you greet the girl whom you want to have. It should be done with the right hand. So pretty simple. You just carve this. You take some spit and draw this symbol in your hand, and you go shake the girl's hand, and that should do it. That should win a girl's love. So that's about that. Pretty simple. Now, Ægishjálmur, I will make a whole video about this because it's just such a huge subject. You all know Ægishjálmur. It's one of the most famous symbols, and not just the magic we see in modern times in Norse magic, but also in older times and pre-Christian pagan times. I'll go into that a lot more in another video, but basically Ægishjálmur originally, as we see in the Poetic Eddas, was not a symbol like this. It was actually, it seems like it's a helmet that was put on the dragon Fafnir in the stories. So it was actually a helmet, an actual helmet, a helm of fear. But it's important to know that the original word Hjálmur in Old Norse, it just meant covering. It didn't necessarily mean a helmet. The original word, if you go back far enough, it just meant a covering. So a lot of scholars say these are two totally different things. The modern Ægishjálmur sign that we see here, and the Viking age or pagan age Ægishjálmur, it was totally different. They were not related. One's a helmet and one's a sign, but really they were just a covering, and a covering could mean so many different things. So I think Ægishjálmur is a really old, one of the most ancient things and symbols that we have, and it was very powerful and used for a lot of different uses. But I'll go into that on another video. But for now, here is that spell about how to win a girl's love. Going on to the next one. This is number 15, spell number 15 in the Galdrabok, and this is to win the love of a person. You see the signs here. You should write this and have it with you, and people will love you very much. That's it. Another simple spell. You write down these signs, and you'll be loved by the people. Now, this one doesn't seem to be for romantic love, the gain love of a woman or a man or whatever. It just seems like everyone would love you if you carried this stave and had it on you. So maybe people in the village would like you, or that's use for that, not necessarily romantic love. Pagan, yes, it could be. maybe the sideways Othala rune we have here, the Elder Futak Othala rune, and also the Elder Ingvaz rune. We maybe see here, not always sure, because there's so many things that look like it, but yeah, could be pagan, maybe not. Now on to the next one. This is a funny one. I'll give you this one. This one. To bewitch a woman and win her love. This is spell number 34 in the Galdrabok, and you see the stave here, quite complex. Okay, I'm gonna read. It's a bit of a long one, just bear with me. If you want to bewilder a woman so that she finds her way to no one except you, make a hole in the floor where she goes over it, and put Etin Spearblood, Eotun Geira Blod, and carve a ring on the outside of it, and her name and these staves. Moldthurs and Madur, inverted threefold, Blad, Naud, Humla, Gapaldur, this is the stave that you see right here in the screen. And when you do this and you put it you can put it under anywhere she walks, maybe under the floorboards of her house, or maybe a place that you know where she's going to be walking. You put this stave there, and then you read this conjuration. I look at you and I feel love and affection for me with all your heart. You can't sit anywhere, nor stand to be anywhere unless you love me. I ask this of Odin and all of those who know how to read women runes, that you can neither endure nor thrive unless you love me with all your heart. Thus, it will like you are burning in your bones, and even worse in your fleshly parts. It will be allotted to you to be unmarried unless you love me. You shall freeze in your feet and never get honor or happiness. You'll sit as if burning, your hair falling out. May your clothes be ripped up unless you want to have me, you easy woman. You easy woman. That's a good one. That's a funny one. So this spell, clearly pagan. I mean, just look at all of it. I mean, it's a lot of details, lots of runes, and calling out to Odin, and yeah, clearly pagan here. This one definitely has pagan roots, and it was probably used a lot before, at least in some form, in pre-Christian times. But as we can see, it was probably not the most brave, honorable, and desirable Vikings that would have used this spell. You know, any man who has to use a magical spell like this and put a curse on a woman, it does not have my respect. Any man that would want the woman to burn when she sits and have her hair fall out and clothes be ripped unless she falls in love with him, he has no respect from me, and he would have not been respected by any other of the honorable men in the society there. So I do not condone trying these spells. This spell particularly seems very pagan and could have been used in pre-Christian Viking times or even before that. But most of the men, you know, these were amazing guys. They were brave, strong, honorable, and they would not have needed these spells because they would have been able to attract a woman themselves. So a spell like this would have been used by the desperate nerds in the village, not very honorable men. Kind of like the men today who go online and go pay and go to these seminars who try to use game and pickup lines and other manipulative tricks to manipulate women into sleeping with you. So if we were living 100 or 1,000 years back in time or before, and a man was caught using this spell on a woman, he probably would have gotten axed to the head by her brother or her father or something like that. So I do not condone these spells at all. be a man, have good honor, and you know, you should be able to attract a woman by yourself without putting a curse on her to fall in love with you. So I do not condone these spells if you do believe in them and you do want to give them a try. But I will give you one pretty cool spell before I leave, just to conclude the day. And that is number 43 in the Galdrabok. And that is to make a woman keep quiet. To make a woman keep quiet. And I'm reading here. If you don't want a woman to talk about you, take this stave and put it in her drink, and she will not be able to reveal anything, and have this stave at your breast. So you take this stave, maybe a woman's, maybe you had sex with a woman or something, or maybe she found out some secret about you, maybe something in the bed that you're a little bit embarrassed about, and you don't want her to tell anyone. Well, you just paint this stave out, put it in her drink, and keep a second copy of it on your breast, and that'll keep her quiet apparently. So that's it for today. Hope you can get some use out of this. See ya.